live. Yes, frozen hand because Eric is here. Frozen hand. All right.
Frozen hand.
4 p.m. Eastern on a Friday. So it's time for Litvak Leadership Live. I know I'm not supposed to say my name, but I'm going to say it anyways. I'm Sean Litvak, and my guest today is the one, the only, the Eric Bam.
Why are you not supposed to say your name?
Because Melanie, what's Melanie's last name?
Spring
says, people know who you are. You don't need to say your name.
Okay, I'm down with that.
But I like saying I'm Sean Litvak.
I like saying you're Sean Litvak.
So,
you're one of my favorite people of COVID.
And wait. So before I start asking you questions, well, here, I'll ask you, why am I one of your favorite COVID people?
Because you are. Like, we grew together during COVID. You know, like when I first met you, like I was probably the first person that ever FaceTimed you. Like, and
you were the first person.
You're like one of these people. Like, what is this? And I'm like, FaceTime on your phone. You're like, how'd you do that? Is that magic? I'm like, no. And now here we are, like 18 months later, and you're doing like Litvak Leadership Live, which was probably 18 months ago, a concept in your head, and now you have like this beautiful logo, and you have like a sticker on your phone, and
I got a sticker,
I'm just, it's always weird, like when a grown man says to another grown man, like, I'm proud of you, but like I'm proud of you. You've gone from this little cocoon to this beautiful bald butterfly.
You know, and nobody would. Oh, there is echo. No one. That echoes on you.
I don't know.
Anyways, well, I'll just talk through it. So, pre-COVID, no one would have said Sean is in a cocoon. That would not have been a phrase. People who knew me. Too extroverted. So Eric is here today. Eric was on the pilot episode. Eric was on a couple other times. Cousin Sari is here. Cousin Sari's going to love this today. Many of you know Sari. She was on the show. So we're going to talk about the 98 days of summer. This is something I heard Eric talking about. So Eric, why don't you introduce your concept and let's talk about it.
Well, first off, thank you for having me on. I always love being on Litvak Leadership Live. And one of my favorite moments of COVID was being on the episode when you called and said, hey, we're going to go live and we're going to talk about the ABCs. And I went A, you went B, and we went back and forth. And I had F, and you wouldn't let me use the F word, which, whatever. But regarding the 98 days of summer, it's something I've always looked at from a sales standpoint, and we look at salespeople and we look sometimes at life in general, and we go, well, it's the summer and people are on vacation and people won't see me and I can't sell and we can't. And
excuses.
We have all these reasons and excuses and we validate it in our head of why we can't be successful during the summer. And I just think it's a bunch of shit. It's just garbage, right? And so I'm really big on goal setting. We talked about that for the last 18 months or whatever. And so I've always liked to look at the calendar year maybe a little different than looking quarter to quarter to quarter. I love looking at January 1 to St. Patrick's Day. I love looking at St. Patrick's Day to Memorial Day. I love looking at Memorial Day to Labor Day, Labor Day to Halloween, Halloween to Thanksgiving. And then I love the little run from Thanksgiving to New Year's Day where salespeople just like, I cannot sell. No one will see everyone. And I love to take those little kind of, it's a little different maybe look on the calendar year from a business standpoint or a personal goal standpoint about what you want to do and how you want to grow. And I like to look at those because I think they're more natural poles for us to hit, And so summer generally is about anywhere from 95 to 100 days. This year is 98 days from Memorial Day to Labor Day. I think we're 18 days in. And so I think one of the things we had talked about was just the challenge of, what goals can you set for the summer that are attainable, that are meaningful, that through the summer you can realistically go get. And I'm not one of these people that's like throwing this out there and like, oh, does he walk the walk? Here's my list. I went old school and I laminated it.
There you go.
the front and is 10 business accounts that I wanted, and the back is some personal goals. And you know what? I'll read them off to you. I want a Porsche by the end of the summer, and I don't want a brand new one either, right? I want an old school Porsche, and I have some specifics on what I want. I wanted to be able to start writing an article for PMQ magazine, and I don't have that here, but that started 2 months ago. And the third month, it should be in the mail anytime today. And part of my goal for PMQ is to be better at it. And I've already 3 months in getting better at it. Okay?
So you've got articles every single month in PMQ magazine.
Yep. I want to have 10,000 followers on Penalty Box Live, which is our weekly show with me and Tim and our producer Wes. And we're at 1,000, so we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I want to go on a sandy beach vacation this summer.
As should everybody.
So I've got that down. Look, I'd like to be making $200,000 by the end of the summer. Is that a big goal? Yeah, but you know what? If I make a couple of big things pop, which I'm very capable of doing, I can do that. Okay. I'm working to hit 10,000 steps a day every day with my Fitbit, and I get really close to that on average. I'd like to get down to 202 pounds, which I've got a little work to do. And I'd like to continue to listen to one audio book a month, and I'm easily doing that. So you know, I think this is old school to like write it down and laminate it. And if you see me out and about, this is in my pocket all the time.
So I'll tell you, I'm approaching your 98 days of summer a little bit different, but it's the Litvak leadership style in that for these 98 days, I am writing down every single day what I did. So I'll write stuff down during the day, what I've done towards my goals for the year.
Yep.
Or if I don't write it because I'm so busy during the day, I write it before noon the next day. But it's best when you write things down, at least for me, as the day goes on, because everything you do, it is to see the activity. I was listening to the Billionaire Mindset. Okay, Evan Carmichael, Billionaire Mindset.
Love Evan Carmichael.
Videos. Yeah, and I'm on day 2, skipping right past millionaire, going to billionaire mindset. And what Evan said today stuck at the end. He had this video, and he said the biggest mistake some people make is that they measure their success by outcome, not by effort. What do you think of that?
Well, it's ironic. I posted a video. I'm in this group in Tulsa this morning talking about something I've said for a long time is effort plus opportunity equals results. And we can put effort into the wrong things and the wrong things happen. You write that down, Sean. Effort plus opportunity equals results. We can put very little effort into great opportunities and nothing happens. You know, we can put effort into the people that are around us, right? Which is the opportunity, and the results happen in that they see growth. And if you're surrounded by people like we've been surrounded with Megamind, where we're all pouring into each other, when you're around a group of people that are pouring into each other and putting effort into each other, you know what happens? Before you know it, everyone's cup is overflowing. You know, one of the things that's been on my mind this week, and I'm actually going to probably write about this for PMQ for next month, is I had an old boss who'd hired me and was a great mentor. I worked for him for 20 years. And the first couple of years I worked for him, he used to tell everyone, hey, I'll see you at the top. I'll see you at the top. That was his tagline on his email. I'll see you at the top. I'll see you at the top. And I used to love that, right? Because I'll see you at the top means we're both there.
Absolutely.
It's not, hey, I'll look down at you from the top, or when I get to the top, hey, I'll sprinkle some glitter on you. It's, you know, I'll see you at the top. And I always loved it. And it hit me 3 years later. I'm in Springfield, Missouri. He and I go see Zig Ziglar together. And Zig Ziglar says, I'll see you all at the top. And I realized my mentor, Mark Duffy, has borrowed this from Zig Ziglar for 3 years that I've known him.
That's okay.
Which I'm sure Zig Ziglar loved it, right? but I love the concept of, yeah, I work for Zig Ziglar, Wes. But I love the concept of I'll see you at the top, because it implies that we're both going to get there. And I think one of the misses sometimes in business is we become so consumed with our competitors, and we become so consumed with distractions. And the reality is there's enough business for all of us.
Yeah.
There really is enough business for all of us. And so I'll see you at the top is amazing, because it says, look, I'm not going to be the only one that's there. There's room for all of us at the top of the mountain. We just all have to put the work in. And I've just always loved that, because I think we live in this space. Social media can get tagged as the devil and evil. Hi, Rhonda. Social media can get tagged as the devil or evil.
Or the highlight reel.
Yeah, the highlight reel, as you call it. But you know what? But I personally love that. I love the highlight reel. I want to see you and your family, because, and you heard this. Just do it. I did come up with just do it, Wes. How did you know? One of the things I love about the highlight reel is that some people don't like to post the good stuff going on in their life, but you've heard this from me. It's no different than raise your hand if your grandmother and grandfather had the photo album on their coffee table. They had, these were all good. They didn't have a picture. Well, this is Uncle Johnny when he lost his leg in the war, and Johnny's sitting there with his leg tore off. Of course we didn't talk about that. We talked about our family and the good things going on, and we talked about the great things in our life, and everyone was smiling and happy. You know what? I want to see everyone's highlight reel. I have another friend who talks about, well, all it is people talking about everything they've got in their life, and it just causes people to be jealous. Dude, the term "keeping up with the Joneses" came along way before. Way before. There was a reason why your neighbor would buy his brand new Cadillac and not take the sticker off of it and intentionally drive it to church on Sunday. It was so he could show off. It's that's reality. But we all got to get to a point where we're comfortable in our skin, that we say that I don't care. I'm happy for you that you got a new car. Right?
So
I'm happy. Now hold on. I do want to say this. Is there always going to be that freaking jerk that is trying to put it in your face? Of course it is. But that's not somebody you need in your life, and you shouldn't worry about them. Period.
So how do you balance the jerks when they're family members and they just got a negative attitude?
We just talked about them before we went live. Unfollow. Don't delete them. Just unfollow them.
Just unfollow them.
Just unfollow those people. You know, you and I love this. This is a great part of this conversation, because you and I you mentioned it to me, and I think I was like, holy crap, Sean's right. And I took it like, we had this realization one day that if your social media is negative, it's your fault. They're your friends.
They're your friends.
So you mentioned that, and then I dig really deep into it. Now, the most current information I could find 6 or 8 months ago was from like 2 years prior, that 50% of your timeline on Facebook comes from the top 25 friends you have that you engage with. The balance of that, about 75%, comes from the next 50, and then the 25% is just excess. So if your Facebook is negative, they're your freaking friends.
They're the ones you're hitting like, or the crying.
Yeah. And so if you want your Facebook or you want your social media to change who you follow. I love this. I posted a couple weeks ago again, because it's always relevant, social media should be a tool. It should be a tool to help you get better. It should be a tool to improve your life. For me, I use social media every day for work, and I freaking kill it. Just kill it. And but yeah, there are people that lay in bed and just scroll. And I do a little bit of that too. I'm not gonna lie. Right? But use it as a positive tool in your life. I want to share something else. I've had a busy day. I've had a lot of coffee. I'm now drinking a glass of wine. But 2 different scenarios, both on social media yesterday. One parent said in a group I'm in, children under 10 should never be on TikTok and this and by the way, TikTok was the devil of all devils, and on all these people. And so I comment, I'm like, hey, first question, do you have TikTok? No. You ever been on TikTok? No. There are some of the most talented, freaking amazing kids on TikTok that are making way more money than me and Sean combined because they're talented and they get it. TikTok is not evil. TikTok is freaking amazing. And there are adults on TikTok is fun. And if you want to learn how to connect, I don't know what these wooden comments are about. If you want to learn how to connect with your kids, we live in this space where people are like, well, my kid won't answer the phone. Well, guess what? Your kid isn't on Facebook either. You know how you talk to your kid? Text them, voice text, send your kid a Snapchat. Get on Snapchat with your kid. I posted in this different conversation yesterday, which wasn't all negative about social media, but you want to like have a great conversation with your kid, join TikTok. Find something that you think is funny, take the link, text it to your kid and say, OMG, this is hilarious. And watch the 10 TikToks you get sent back the other way. That, Dad, this is awesome. And it'll start a conversation. We want to talk to kids the way we want to be talked to, but kids want to be communicated with a different way than we communicate. Parents need to freaking understand that, and they don't. And they look at social media and they go, this is awful. It's not awful. Social media is incredible. And I want to say this one more thing before I'm done, Sean, because I'm kind of on a roll.
All right.
If you think that, oh, Sean's frozen. Oh, Sean, you say
no, I'm not. No.
If you think that all of a sudden 5 years from now or 10 years from now, we're going to like all of a sudden not be using our phone, it's ridiculous. The way we're doing business and talking is going to continue to grow. And if you limit your kids to like, don't be on there, it's so stupid. You know what? Here's how you should, as a parent, approach this. Do it with them. Be on it with them.
Is that my kid?
Do it with them. Quit being idiots and saying this is the devil. It's not the devil. Sorry.
Bam, Leadership Live. There we go. So,
cheers.
My kids are older than your kids. Well, than most of your kids. My son and daughter-in-law are 26, and our daughter's 23. And we text with them on and off, sometimes all day long, sometimes not for a couple days. We send memes to each other. We send videos to each other. My daughter's on a trip, okay? And when we didn't ask her to do this. When the plane landed last night at midnight our time, a text came through that I saw first thing this morning, landed. Yeah. Didn't ask her to do that. It's just how we communicate. We
want our kids to pick up the phone. We want our kids to pick up the phone, and that's not how they don't even communicate with their friends that way. And we have parents that are idiots that look at this and say, well, they won't pick up the phone and freaking call me. Good, they ain't calling nobody. They're not. You've got to communicate to them the way they communicate. That's text. That's voice text. That's Snapchat. I can Snapchat my son right now and he'll snap me back, but he won't answer the phone. And that's okay. We've got to change our mindset.
And I agree with you, but there does have to be a certain level of honor your mother and father too.
No, there doesn't.
Yes, there does.
No, there doesn't. Says you. You say that because you're the father. They don't.
No, but I'm a son.
They don't owe you anything. You're lucky your kids are talking to you, Sean.
I have a mother. I answer her phone calls, or let it go to voicemail and call her back.
I'm somewhat kidding. I'm kidding about half.
Right.
Like, I do get the whole respect thing. I think if you communicate with your kids enough the way they like to be communicated with, that they will take that phone call. You know, but if it's 8 phone calls a day, why do you never answer my call? Because you friggin' blow me up left and right. Send me a text. I'm busy.
Well, and it's like, you know, I've talked to my wife about this, Mrs. Leadership, and I said I remember as a child, my grandmothers would call my mother every single day, and we had one of those phones in the kitchen that had the super long cord where you could walk like literally 12 feet away from the phone.
Yeah.
Had like
Everybody had that.
So she was like this on the phone talking to him. What did they talk about for half an hour to an hour every single day about?
Weather.
Recipes. And that's not a slam on women. I mean,
no,
when my father was alive, we didn't talk every day.
Yeah.
What was there to talk about? I don't talk to my son every day, my daughter every day.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally get that. I totally get that. Like I said, we want to take our children and we want to make them communicate the way we communicate, or the way, you were referring to there with the phone cord. And we just don't live that way. Well, our kids don't live that way. And so the more we try to make them communicate with us via call me, I need to talk to you, is the more I think they're going to disengage from any conversation, because you won't adapt to them. We need to adapt to kids. And I'll tell you this, like I said it before, I think if you look up and think that 10 years from now, all of a sudden, everything's not going to be more about this, and I'm going to do more business through this.
Oh, there'll be holograms. I'm excited for the hologram to pop up.
It's going to happen.
Have conversations with people, or enter into augmented reality and have a meeting like that instead of on video.
I think there's going to come a day where you're going to have like this little orb just floating around behind you or whatever, and it'll say, you have a video chat from Sean, and whoop, you'll pop up if I let you. I think that's going to come, and if we I think there. I want to back off. I'm going to say this a little. I'm going to speak out of both sides of my mouth. Part of me, look, that's coming. Parents need to let their kids learn that and understand it. And good Lord, if your kid is crazy, wicked, talented at creating stuff on TikTok, he could make a crap ton of money, number one. Number two, I do get pulling kids back from it a little bit, because they need to be pulled back from it a little bit. They can't be on their phone watching YouTube videos all the time, right? All the time, no. And I'll tell you, I know you're a Gary Vaynerchuk guy, right? Yeah. One of my favorite Gary Vaynerchuk things of the last year is this person's interviewing him and says, well, what do you say to your kid when they're upset that they didn't get any likes on anything that they created? Well, get better. Get better at being creative. That's your own problem.
Well, the founder of Spanx, she said that her father used to ask her once a week at dinner, her and her brother, what did you fail at this week?
Yeah.
What did you fail at? She's like, and it taught her to go out and try to do things that she didn't think she could accomplish, but to try anyways. And when she just had successful things to talk about, her dad told her, you're not trying things that are hard enough. Go do something harder.
Well, just to talk about this again for a second, because that reminded me of something that happened to me this week. Is you've heard me talk about this, but when you set goals, write them down, talk about them, pray about them, tell your friends about them, post on social media about them, learn about them, educate yourself about them, just eat, breathe, sleep this stuff, because the more that people around you know what your goals are, the more people are there to help. And so I was at church Wednesday, and we were actually kind of talking about anxiety and fear and insecurity. And a friend of ours is going through something that, if she gets through it, is going to be big for her, but she won't tell anybody about it because she's afraid that this one person at work is going to give her shit. And I'm like, if that one person at work gives you shit, A, you don't need them in your life, and B, that's motivation. Let that be motivation. But then the other 99% of those people are going to support you and lift you up and say, good for you. You can do this.
Haters are always going to hate. And,
yes.
And two, Grant
Likers are always going to like.
And you heard what did you say?
Likers are always going to like.
Likers are always going to like. I immediately thought of someone when you said that too. Someone who shows up is a professional commenter on live stream shows.
Yes.
Always going to like, always going to comment.
Yep.
And he's not here today.
No, that's all right.
I wonder if he would even know if it was him. Okay, so haters are going to hate. And Grant Cardone said, if people are not hating on you, you're not doing anything significant enough.
I agree.
I'm paraphrasing, but
I agree. I think one of the other things that this is reality. We get in our own way because of what we think about what other people might think about us. But the problem is, Sean, like, you're worried about what I might think about you, and you're sitting there worried about what I'm worried about what you're thinking about me. And it's so stupid, and it's so paralyzing, and it's so non-productive. And we've got to get out of our own way. We've got to write down what we want. We've got to talk about it. We've got to focus on it. And we've got to tell our friends about it. We've got to circle our friends around it. And if somebody doesn't like it, kiss my ass, because I don't need you in my life. Unfollow, remove as a friend, move on. Because, and we get consumed sometimes with what people think about us on an app, a free freaking app on our phone. And most of these people, 95% of the people on our phone, we never even met.
No.
If I'm going to worry about somebody on my phone,
have never met in person.
Well,
we
that's
have more
different
conversations than some people who live next door to each other.
You know, I read something in the last year that said only be worried about what somebody says about you on Facebook if their phone number is actually in your phone. So if I don't have your phone number, like, I ain't worried about what you think about me. That's easy. And all of this, a lot of this is easier said than done, because you know what? I have pretty thick skin and I'm not worried about it. I'm going to move on. A lot of people don't. A lot of people are pretty consumed with, like, well, what will Johnny think? And what will Susie think? And we've got to get over that. We've just got to move past it, because if you want to have a really productive rest of the 80 days of summer, you've got to write your goals down. You've got to put it out there. You got to talk about it, pray about it, sing about it, tell your friends about it, post it on Facebook, tell your grandma about it, text your kids about it, beg to be on Litvak Leadership Live and tell Sean Litvak about your goals and what they are and how you can get there. You know,
do a pop-up interview with me.
There you go. There are, you know, the people out there used to kind of bash that book, The Secret, say, well, I want $1 million. Where's it at? Well, the premise of The Secret is a lot like the premise of God. And I know you and I both believe in God. And the premise of The Secret is the universe, which is God. And I think God wants you to be successful. And God gives you a brain to come up with ideas of things you need and things you want. Hey, coach, things you need and things you want. But God also gives you a brain to come up with a plan, and he gives you hands to go to work, and he gives you feet to get off your freaking ass and go
Listen to
get
what
there.
He's saying to have some inspiration.
Yep.
It's you know, you talk about not getting in each other's way. My wife and I were talking about just some crazy ideas last night. You know, why don't we try this? We can try doing this. You know, what about this idea? And as I was walking Solomon this morning, I came back and I told her, because we've got this long list now of things that we are thoughtfully praying about individually, and then we're going to come back together Monday night and talk about them. And one thing that I told her today was that I have to keep myself from getting in your way. That when you decide what's on this list that's really exciting to you, I can't tell you how to do it unless you ask. You have to just, if you're excited about it, I have to let you just go do it, go fail at it, go figure it out. Because you know what? Do you remember the first live stream you and I did?
Yeah.
The pilot episode and it was on Facebook.
Yep.
It's there on YouTube. And then for the first week, when I finally launched Litvak Leadership Live, I did it with the phone sideways on Facebook, and it was horrible. And then I started it this way. But I had no logos. I had no background.
Yeah. Well, that's how you improve. I think, you know, one of the things, you know, you talking about you and your wife coming up with, hey, let's pray about it over the weekend and get back together. And what does that look like? And I think the powerful thing in that for you is you said, look, I'll let her fail, right? You're going to let her fail, but you're going to lift her up.
Hard.
It is, but you're going to lift her up. But I know you well enough to know you're also going to be there to help. And you're going to be there to support. You're going to be there to fill her up, right? Because that's what it's all about. And I said that from the get-go. If we fill enough people up that are around us, and enough people's cups will be overflowing to where everybody's winning. All of our friends are winning, and winning can be different. My winning can be different than yours. You know, my list of things is different than yours. The things I want for myself, the things I want for my family are different. But if we're sharing and we're talking about it, by the way, one of the other benefits of sharing and talking about it is, like, I have a Porsche on here, right? And I've already had 3 people in the last 3 months be like, hey, did you see this Porsche on Facebook? And I'm like, yes, I did. But people help you. People want to support people. People want to help people. So I want to play a game with you.
Okay, let's play the game.
All right, you get the letter A.
Oh, we're playing this game again?
We're going to alternate to finish this thing up. And I want you to provide something of value that starts with A that you feel like you could share today. I'm going to do B, and we'll go back and forth, and we're going to end this. So for A, what do you have, Mr. Litvak?
An apple a day will keep the doctor away. Work on your health.
All right. So I got B. You think I would have thought about this? I plan on doing this, but then you would think I would have thought about B a little more. You know what? For B, I'm going to say the Eric Bam, and everyone should follow me on social media. So there's the B. So you have C, sir.
C is don't say, can I do this? Say, why haven't I started doing it?
D. Be daring. Take some risks. We're talking about failing. And I remember early on in my sales career, I never wanted to fail. Right now, I realize, like, I get older and shoot, yeah, I failed again. I don't enjoy it, but at the same time, you learn through the process of how you get better. So we learn from failing. So daring. We learn from being daring. You have E. Go ahead.
E, in the words of Wes Wyatt, Eureka should be your attitude, that when you discover something, you say, Eureka.
There you go. F, I'm going to say fun. Have some fun while you're doing it. We get very consumed sometimes, and I start here, and here's the end goal. We don't realize the fun along the journey, and we don't enjoy the process. And we literally are in process every day of something, So have fun. Fun. It's like, look at us. This is fun.
Absolutely.
All right, you're next, sir.
G is for growth, but I'm going to call it personal growth. Why are you always listening to music? Get on YouTube, get on Spotify, find educational podcasts, find educational videos. I don't listen to a single podcast, but I listen to Evan Carmichael. I listen to Grant Cardone. I listen to Warren Buffett. I listen to Shay Rowbottom. Okay, she is on.
What about Rowbottom?
She is on fire when it comes to having viral videos on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I love Evan Carmichael, by the way. Love Evan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I have H. H would be hair, which you have none of. You're next.
I. Don't be afraid of your own ingenuity. That witty idea that you think is stupid will make you $1 million.
Okay, what's next? What do I have?
H-I-J.
J. Jump in. Take a chance. Jump. Write your stuff down and jump. I know that sometimes we come up with things and we say, I wish I could do that. And then we don't take the leap. When we overthink, we come up with all the reasons we shouldn't do it. So J is jump, sir. Jump. You're next.
K, no, you will fail, and then learn from it.
I have L.
JKL, yeah.
Litvak Leadership Live every day, people. Get on his YouTube channel. Watch this. He's had some great guests over the last year. Sean does an amazing job from day one. Great interviewer. Litvak Leadership is very good. It's a great resource. There you go. You're up next. What do you got? M.
L. M. The only thing that's coming to me is marry up. Find someone, not that you can lead in everything, but that will lead you in some things. Marry up.
I've got N. Don't be a negative Nancy.
Okay. O. Right. O.
Yes.
Make sure you get outside. Don't spend your entire life inside. As I'm live streaming, I got this giant window here with blackout curtains for when I'm streaming or on video calls, because the window is huge. But it is hot out. It is gorgeous out. And when Eric and I are done, okay, there's one more video thing we got to do for Megamind today. And then I'm going outside. Get yourself outside as much as possible. Get in the sun. Get some vitamin D. Go for a walk. Do something. Be outside.
So I've got P. I'm going to say produce. Because if you set your goals and you talk about them, you work on them, you're going to produce results. And sometimes the end result may not be exactly what you want, but if you hit 50% of your goal, you're already 50% farther along than you ever thought you'd be. So produce. So you're next.
Q, be quiet and listen. Listen
Like that.
with intent to understand, not to respond.
And don't write something on Facebook and write, they weren't being quiet, but instead of writing quiet, you write quite. People do that all the time. You ever see that? They're quite. Like, no, that's not correct. It's quiet.
This is not texting when you're posting. You need to read through it.
What's after Q? R?
Q, LMNOP, Q, R.
R. Recharge. Get some sleep at night. Recharge your batteries. I think high achievers sometimes tend to almost look at like relaxing and recharging as like this. Well, it's like a concept. I slept 3 hours last night. Well, I slept 2.5.
It needs to be 8.
Recharge.
And here's the thing. I've gotten to the age that unless I like gotta get up for something, my body decides it's 8 hours. If I go to bed at 9, I get up at 5. If I go to bed at midnight, I get up at 7 or 8. In my body, just like, nope, you need 8 hours. So figure out how to live your life.
There you go.
S, Solomon. So we're going to the morning walk with Solomon and Sean. Solomon is the golden retriever in our lives. And I think I'm going to have a new pre-recorded show called The Janitorial Walk with Solomon and Sean that I will pre-record, have the neighborhood in the background as I talk about the cleaning industry and how to keep people safe physically and emotionally. What's after S?
T. T is Tim Lord. Tim Lord is the co-host of the Penalty Box Live, which we are back for the summer. Starting next Wednesday, we have Court Alum on. Court owns Cody Media in Kansas City, works with restaurants. He's phenomenal. One of the things he threw out last week I thought was just insane, brilliant, talking about a $1 queso club that he worked with a company on. It's just brilliant. And so T is for Tim Lord. Timmy, I love you, my friend.
You understand you don't need the last word. Understand if you're the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room.
Oh, yeah, you should leave. Yeah,
you need
just
to find
leave.
a new room.
Just leave. What do I got? V?
Yep.
That's a tough one. V. I'm gonna pass. Go. You go next. What do you got? Something for V? What do you got?
V.
Victory.
V is for victory.
Victory. Sorry, victory. It's
okay.
been a long week.
W. Everyone should have a W flag like the Cubs. I think I'm going to buy a W flag, and every time I close a deal, you got a W flag?
No, I got lots of my flags that I like though.
Yeah, but everyone should have a W. I think I'm going to get a W flag, and every time I close a deal, or if the Cubs win, I may start flying the W flag in my neighborhood because it's such a feel good.
Yeah. Yeah.
X.
X-ray. I think they do these things now where you can show up and they just check your body it's good to stay healthy. We're getting that age. I recently had a really, really bad sinus infection, and I thought, well, I'll eat some oranges and I'll be fine, right? And it was bad. I was hurting. And so like a week later, I go to the doctor and he's like, hey, dummy, you're 51. Like, if you don't feel good, you come see me. Just come see me. He's like, and he said, you are not at that age where you can just like drink some orange juice and you're gonna be fine. Just stop it. Come see me.
Okay. Why? Say no to more things so you can say yes to the right things.
Love it. Z. Zombies. You don't have to be the fastest running from zombies. You just don't want to be the slowest.
And that are your 26 alphabet letters of the 98 days of summer. So, Eric, final question.
Yes.
If someone is saying, gosh, it's too late, it's almost July, I don't know how to even start. How many goals should I begin with? What do I do? Eric, what should they do to engage in the 98 days of summer?
Just quit. Just wait for fall. I'm kidding. You know what? I mean, there are, as of right now today, we've talked about there are 80 days left in the summer between now and Labor Day.
Yeah.
And 80 days is a lot of days. So to answer your question, you know what? If you're watching this or you're watching this tomorrow, just get out a piece of paper, right? And just start writing down 5, 6, 7 things you want to accomplish and make them attainable, make them fun, work-related, personal-related, things you want, things that are meaningful to you, and write them down and start talking about them. You know, I when I did this a couple of months ago, I posted it in our group and said, here's my goals. And I talked about them today. Like I have no shame to talk about them. And if you run into me out, this is in my pocket all the time. It's getting pretty beat up. I need to redo it. But write them down, talk about them. How can I get them? What can I do to get there? What can I learn? Who can I meet? Who can I delete off my Facebook that makes me feel better about doing that? I mean, I think there's a lot of simple things you can do, but the first thing starts with effort. Effort plus opportunity equals results. Get up, write the list down, put some work into what you want. And guess what? Even if you get halfway there in the next 80 days, you're farther along than you ever were by going, I wish I could do this.
And if you want to connect with Eric, he is the Eric Bam on LinkedIn.
All social media.
You want to connect with Eric and just to have the brilliance coming at you and someone else to talk to. If you need pizza crust liners, Eric's got an incredible product that we didn't even talk about today that is taking the world by storm.
Yes.
From independent pizza entrepreneurs and even some of the big boys out there. And Eric, isn't your product now in the UK too?
Well, it's on a boat right now. It's going to be available July 1st.
Pretty exciting.
So we're international.
And they sell incredible bags, hence the website, incrediblebags.com, everything having to do with pizza, sandwiches, and all that. And finally, if you like sports and business, there's the Penalty Box Live. Now, look, they've got this terrible URL because they only have 52 subscribers, almost 1,000 on Facebook, but only 52 on YouTube. I want you to go to YouTube, type in the Penalty Box Live, find that logo, and just go subscribe so he gets there. And finally, if you want to talk to me, go to Facebook, like Litvak Leadership, go to YouTube, be a subscriber, and message me. I talk to everybody that reaches out to me. If you want some kind of motivation, if you want some kind of help, I can tell you right now, both Eric and I are willing to help you figure out which one of us you want to talk to. Direct message us. It's a beautiful day. Well, yeah, you either want someone that does the hair thing or someone that doesn't do hair at all.
I need a haircut. I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. But hey, I just want to say this again, just to say it one more time, man. I'm just wicked proud of you. Like, you've come from the first time we FaceTimed. You're like, how'd you do that? Are you spying on me? So like, here you are now, like doing live shows and you're on like a podcast with other people and it's so with Brad, and it's just so fun to see. And I am blessed to have you in my life and call you a friend, and you are good people. So thank you for having me on today. It's always fun. I didn't say the F word at all, which is great. And I'm excited.
You didn't talk about your mother.
Yeah, well, she's not on. She actually had her knee replaced day before. And so, yeah, we didn't talk about the fact that the greatest day of my mom's life was when I came out of her vagina.
That and the bit.ly shortener. So which is more important, the day you came out of your mother's vagina or that Bruce has the URL shortener tip here?
Anything to do with Bruce. Yeah, it's just anything. I mean, Bruce is far more important.
Live. We've got our Megamind meeting in 13 minutes. Everyone have a great weekend and be blessed. And Eric, do the frozen hand. That's like your thing. I just say be blessed.